Hello, it's a Red Dead Redemption. The Buck Compadre camp knife has ridden again. Got it back a little while ago now from a warranty repair. I dropped it and the tip snapped off. As far as Buck were aware, there wasn't any problems with their steel or with the construction of the knife, so it was just me dropping it, and I guess it being a finer tip knife, the tip did snap off. So there we go, lesson learnt. It's a shorter knife now. They've taken the tip up, and so now it actually has a bit more of a thick point, so probably beneficial to me. I've taken the knife out and done some testing with it, and it's yeah, quite an enjoyable blade, as I thought it would be before I broke it. So let's get to it and look over the specs. You have to forgive me, the camera started going flat, and the only hardwired source I've got is in my kitchen, so it reduces the manliness of the video a little bit, but there we go. So let's look at the full specs of the knife. So the handle is made of diamond wood. Diamond wood is like micarta but wood leaf, so it's resinous wood made into blocks, and I think they just kind of cut it with the grain or lay the grain layers over and over, so it looks very woody, very much like it's got the patterns of natural wood, but is in fact more man than nature, really. It's a slab style handle, so there's a full tang running through, and the full tang does sort of ride a little bit above and a little bit below the handles, so you can sort of still feel the tang as you grip the knife. Overall, the knife handle is fairly comfortable. It is a little bit on the blocky side, but so are most of these slabbed handle knives. It's no less blocky than an SE handle, for example. The K-bar Becker handles, I guess, are a bit more rounded, but still slab handles, in my opinion, can only ever get so comfortable. And these ones yeah, there's probably about a 7 out of 10 on how comfortable you could make a slab handle like this. Not too bad. It's a lanyard loop at the end. I think knives this size very rarely need lanyards. I don't really use them for chopping, and there's no other real need for it. You're not going to tie it to your body. You're not really going to wrap it around your wrist, because I wouldn't be using it for cutting tasks that required that. It's got two hex bit, so star Torx bit handle fixtures, so just one-sided there. So you can take this handle off and you'll see it is hollowed out underneath, sort of two hollow squares, just like you see on most of these types of knives. And yeah, the blade stock is about 1/8 thick, so pretty reasonable for what really this knife is purposed for. And what is this knife purposed for? This is like a large companion knife. It could be a primary knife if you were supported with a saw or an axe to do your like heavier limbing type tasks or shelter building, things like that. This would do most of your camp tasks. In fact, it would probably do all of your camp tasks. I've already cut vegetables and fruit with it in my last video, so I'm not too bothered about that. I did do some more splitting, and I've done some more whittling and woodworking and things like that. And yeah, the knife is fine. This 5160 steel takes a really, really mean edge. It came back from Buck. They'd sharpened it for me again, and it came back very, very sharp, and so I've still used that factory edge. There is no damage to the edge in terms of rolling, because a softer steel like this, I think this is 57 on the Rockwell scale, could well roll, especially being 5160. It's rather going to roll than chip, so I guess that's better, perhaps, I don't know. But it hasn't done any of those things, so a bit of a moot point so far. The blade length is just under 5 inches now, so it started off being a 5-inch blade, about the size of a K-bar Becker BK16, I think, the short, whatever that is. So it's that sort of class of knife, SE4 type size, perhaps a little bit longer than the SE4. But yeah, it's that class of knife, so very much a dual type of, you know, the blade for the person who just wants to carry a knife at camp and not really do too much other thinking about it. So it's good for just general use and just a general user as well. The thing that's going to divide people is the red colour. I really, really like the red colour. It's a red powder coat, and it is going to come off. When I did batoning with the knife, both before the failure and then after, it's been back since, the red does come off bountifully on the wood that you push it through. So this definitely isn't long for this weld, this coating. You can already see near that edge there that it is starting to come off, just from the bottom there near my thumb. So I would give it a little while longer, and then probably I'd suggest in another few months' time this will be mainly silver here. The spine doesn't seem super sharp, but it definitely strikes a ferro rod off, even if you just slow striking. Again, that will take the paint off, or the powder coat off that spine too. So not sure if that's going to focus on it for me, but yeah, that's going to take definitely going to take that off too. The paint running on a ferro rod, so that's that. Some jimping on the top there, which the knife sort of sways up a bit from the handle, so you've got a little bit of a ramp, very minor ramp, and then you've got a bottom finger guard as well, which is just integral, sort of part of the blade shape, the way the knife is sort of cast or drop forged, I guess, or however they, probably just laser jet, water jet cut, whatever they do these days. Yeah, pretty happy with it. I like it about as much as I like the SE3 for a camp knife. It's a little bit longer than the SE3, so it's just as, I guess a little bit more capable. Your carry options aren't as good as the SE3. It's just got this leather sheath, which is a good leather sheath, but a basic leather sheath it is no less. So I'll just run some footage of me wearing this leather sheath. It's it'll slide back and forth across your belt. The knife will pull out of it easily. It will fall out of it easily if you don't have the strap on. The strap is a good quality nylon strap on the leather sheath, and it's kind of got that double thickness to it, and it's got a very, very high quality snap, which is endorsed with Buck Knives, a little button there. So just overall a very nice leather sheath. It's about as nice as you get on a leather sheath on most of these kind of production knives. It's not, anything amazing. It's just single stitched, and it's not got pockets and all that sort of thing on it. But for $100 knife, or you can get these for about $80 in Australia now. It's good to come with a nice sort of thicker leather sheath as well. It's a reasonable thickness too, and definitely real. It smells lovely. So overall, now that it's back, I think I'm going to keep this buck. I quite like it, and I think the fact that it's been through the ringer a bit and become, it's been damaged and it's been fixed, it sort of feels like it's become mine. I don't really want to sell it. I've just sold my SE3. The knife just wasn't doing it for me. It was it was good. It was a good knife, but it wasn't, I don't know, it just wasn't like, it didn't feel particularly like mine. It just felt like everyone else's SE3, and perhaps I just seen too many of them. It just didn't seem special to me. I know it's silly, but when I wanted to sell a few things to get a couple of new folding knives that do feel special to me, which will be featuring on the channel in the next few episodes. I could find myself parting with the SE3 really easily, whereas of course I looked at my Falcon Even F1, and I even looked at this knife and I thought, no, I don't want to sell them just yet, so I think I want to keep that. So shrug, it is what it is. Overall, it's relatively comfortable to use. I like the warmth of this sort of micarta-ish, or wood micarta, diamond wood type handle. It feels sort of authentic and feels warm to the touch. My hand is large. It gives me plenty of space. When I'm using the knife in resistance type tasks, I find that it feels okay. The corners of with just the sheer flatness of the handle surface does kind of, my palm bunches around it a little bit, which does make some slight discomfort, so that's something to think about. But really what it's going to come down to is it's a 5160 spring steel knife. You're going to either like that steel, or you're going to get one of the numerous 1095 steel options that are in this length. So you're going to choose that, the two steels, and then the other choice is whether you like this red colour or not. And I like it, but I think probably about 60% of people won't, and maybe 40% will, or 30% will, and 10% just don't care at all. But apart from that, it's definitely got some unique things going for it, and I'd still recommend giving it a try, because you can save a little bit of money on your mid-size camp knife if you go for this over something made by Becker, or made by, who else makes this? Schrade, or no, it's about the same cost as a Schrade. So I guess you just think Becker straight away, or Essie, or K-Bar. K-Bar's got some reasonable knives about this size. So if you go with Buck, you get a US made knife for a bit cheaper with just as good a steel, in my opinion. Just got to watch out for that fine tip, because you'll end up snapping it like I did if you do any leverage work with it, or accidental leverage work as it was. So overall, that's my thoughts on the Buck Compadre camp knife, and I hope you enjoyed this little saga, watching it unfold. See you in the next video, dudes. Bye.